these customers are not inside the organization. Okay, so they belong to the external environment. They comes under micro environment. The external environment often refers to the specific or the task environment. This external environment is also known as a task environment. It is specific about a particular thing. Business environment is classified into two categories. One is external environment. Second one is internal environment. Hello everyone, a warm welcome to one and all. I am Mr. Hemant Kumar from the Department of Commerce and Management, Vidhyaashram First Aid College, MYSURU, the Temple of Excellence. In today's session, we are going with the subject Business Environment. It's Unit 1, Session 2 for 3rd semester BBA students. In today's session, we are going with the unit titled Introduction to the Business Environment. This is agenda of today's session. Internal and external environment, followed by factors affecting the micro and macro environment. See, this is internal and external environment of a business environment, right? So, our business environment is classified into two categories. One is external environment, second one is internal environment. See, simply if I want to say what exactly the external environment and internal environment is, the internal environment is the internal factors which influence the business environment which is inside the organization. External factors are the outside factors or the external factors which influence the business environment, that we call it as a external environment and also the internal environment. This external environment speciality is, okay, so we cannot easily control the external factors. Okay, so up to some extent we can control, but not completely, right? So when it comes in terms of internal environment, okay, so we can control the internal environment completely. So that is a special factor or a feature that I can say when it comes in terms of internal environment and external environment. I repeat, when it comes in terms of internal environment, the factors inside the organization, okay, so I can control very easily. See, what happens is, it is my organization. I can make any kind of a rules, regulation which must followed by all the individual employees of the organization. So that is internal environment, means it can be easily controllable. So when it comes in terms of external environment, I cannot make rules and regulations for the public, and I cannot make the public to follow those rules and regulations. Done? So that is the actual thing which is going to happen. Easily controllable, can be controllable up to some extent and not completely. Done? Okay. So when it comes in terms of external environment, it has been classified into two categories, micro and macro environment. The name itself, it is going to say that micro is small in nature. When it comes in terms of macro, it is big in nature. See, as I said, external environment factors can be controlled up to some extent. Okay, this micro environment factors can be controlled up to some extent, but this macro environment factors we cannot control completely. Done? So these are all the factors that we need to consider, and in the same way, here, whatever the units that is been allotted as per the syllabus of University of Mysore, those are the macro environmental factors that is been classified into unit 2, 3, 4 and 5. Done? So, these are all the things that we need to learn, study further. Okay. So, business environment followed by internal and external environment, followed by external environment has been classified into two categories, micro environment and macro environment. These are all the things that we need to consider. When it comes in terms of internal environment, here it is going to say how exactly the internal environment is going to work and what exactly the internal environment is. The internal environment refers to the culture, members, events and factors within the organization. So, as I said, the people or the members within the organization, we consider it as a internal environment, whether it is a rules and regulations regarding the organization, formalities, tradition, trend, okay. So, vision and mission policy, that belong to the internal environment. That has a ability to influence the decisions of the organization. See, these are all the factors which have the ability to influence the decisions of the organization, because the success or the failure of the organization totally depends upon the decisions that is being made by the organization, that is from the top management, especially the behavior of human resource. Okay, human resource plays a vital role when it comes in terms of organization, because none of the organization cannot operate, okay, so without human resource. See, it plays a vital role whether there is a development of a science and the technology, but that science and the technology, robotics and whatever the things, updated things that is in today's generation, that has been made from the human resource. Done. So as we know, as we had studied, okay, the resource of organization is been classified into two categories. One is human resource, second one is financial resource. Both the resource plays a vital role, especially the human resource. It influence each other. Here the members refers to all the people which are directly or indirectly related to the organization. Okay, so here the people means the members who is present inside the organization, or the people who are present inside the organization. Those people are going to influence directly or indirectly the organization, the internal environment of the organization. Who are those people? They may be the owner, shareholders, managing directors, or board of directors, or employees of the organization, right? So these are all the people who are going to affect the organization. Done. So regarding the internal environment, so as I said, whether it is a success or the failure of the organization totally depends upon the decisions that is made in the organization, the policies they follow, the formalities that they people do have, the code of conduct they do have. Then it is totally depends upon the vision and mission policy, totally depends upon the decision these people are going to take. Then regarding the internal environment, I repeat, when it comes in terms of internal and external environment, our business environment is classified into two categories. Okay, one is external environment followed by internal environment. Internal environment can be easily controlled, okay, by formulating rules, regulation, formalities, okay, vision, mission. Done. So we can easily control. External environment, up to some extent we can control, after that we cannot control. This external environment is being classified into two categories, micro environment and macro environment. Micro environment, which is small in nature, up to some extent we can control. This macro environment, it is big or large in nature, we cannot even control the macro environment. So this is the internal environment factor. So as I said, it is a internal environment. Done. Followed by external environment. Here it is. Okay, so it is external environment. Okay, so what exactly the external environment is? The external environment often refers to the specific or the task environment. This external environment is also known as a task environment. It is specific about a particular thing. Okay, done. Encompasses the various factors outside a company's control. Okay, so see, the company always have a control only inside the organization, okay, not outside the organization. It is out of control. So that is external environment that significantly influence the operations. See, I cannot say that, okay, so inside the organization, if I make certain this thing, that thing, okay, so I can expect the success, okay, because both the environment, whether it is an internal and external environment, it is interlinked with each other, mutually linked with each other, because whatever the product that is being produced inside the organization must be circulated to the external environment. Whatever the things which is going to happen in the external environment does affect directly to the organization, okay. Whatever the internal factors that is going to happen inside the organization, it is also going to affect the organization directly or indirectly. Done. So I mean to say, both internal and external environment are mutually linked with each other, which influence each other for the success of organization. Based on these factors, by considering these factors, the organization should take a decision, a step forward to the success of the organization towards reaching the goals of the organization effectively and efficiently. That is what the management is going to say, that not only reaching the goal is important, reaching the goals of the organization effectively and efficiently is much more important. This environment is typically divided into two categories. So as I said, so this external environment is being classified into two categories. One is micro environment and second one is macro environment, as I explained in the diagram. Okay, so macro environment, big in nature, followed by micro environment, it is small in nature. As I explained, micro environment can be controlled up to some extent. Macro environment we cannot control. So further we are going to see which are all the factors that is present in the internal environment and external environment, and in the same way which are all the factors that is influencing the micro and macro environment. Done. These are the external environment factors which is influencing the business environment directly or indirectly. This external environment is been classified into two categories. One is micro and another one is macro. There are certain macro factors which is influencing the business environment. There are certain micro factors which is influencing the business environment. Which are all the factors which actually affect the business environment that we are going to study further. Micro environment. So as we had studied in the business environment, the first thing, it's about the micro environment. There are many factors which is related to the micro environment. I had considered only few factors which have the direct impact on the business environment, who are the people who are present inside the organization. So one is customers. Done. So customers, they belong to the external environment. These customers are not inside the organization. Okay, so they belong to the external environment. They comes under micro environment because we can see a only small group of customer. Okay, whether it is 1 crore, 2 crore, 5 crore or 10 crore. When it come in terms of external environment, which is very broad in nature. Okay, so it is customer which is micro in nature when it come in terms of a business environment. Done. So those people belong to the external environment of the business environment. Done. So when it comes in terms of customers, there are a number of customers or varieties of customers who is present in the society. Okay, so it may be a potential customer, he may be a loyal customer, he may be a habitual buyer, or he may be a normal customer. Done. So it differs from one people to another people, one category to another category. That we call it, that category call it as a customer. See, what happens is how exactly the customers are affecting the business environment. See, what happens is when it comes in terms of customer, okay, earlier there was a marketing concept. Whatever the product that we are going to manufacture, that will be purchased by the people, okay, or the customer. That was the old marketing concept. There is a modern marketing concept called customer centric approach. Okay, whatever the product that we are going to prepare, manufacture in the organization, okay, so that is as per the convenience of the customer. If we satisfy the customer is going to become a loyal customer for the organization. He keep purchasing the product repeatedly. Okay, so what happens to satisfy the customer? Okay, we are supposed to prepare the product as per the convenience of the customer, as per his taste and preferences, as per his capacities and capabilities. Okay, because the marketing concept is customer centric approach. Okay, so he is a person who is going to influence the business environment externally. Okay, so he is an external person who is affecting the business environment. See, what happens is if I produce the product whatever I want, he won't purchase it. Okay, done. So I want to know the consumer behavior. I want to know what exactly the customer want, and I am supposed to facilitate him the product at a right time, right place for a right person, that is a customer. Done. When it comes in terms of input and suppliers, it is the second factor which is influence the business environment. Okay, so see what happens is it is a business entity. Okay, so it is a business entity. See what happens is, what is the main function of the business? What is the main course of a manufacturer? Okay, so he is going to import the raw materials, convert the raw materials into finished product and supply the finished product to the society. See, he is going to bring the raw materials from the society. He is going to convert the raw materials into finished product inside the organization, and also he is going to deliver the finished product to the society. Whatever the things that he is going to do, whether it is a input or the output, that is suppliers. Okay, so it is going to happen inside and outside. See, what happens is business environment that is internal environment is completely dependent on external environment. There is no internal environment with external environment and no external environment with internal environment. And we can notice a number of suppliers, okay, which is not at all a part of the organization, but they work for the benefit of the organization. Okay, so hope you people are aware of the intermediaries. Okay, so the channels of distribution, which start from manufacturer, followed by agent, followed by a wholesaler, followed by a retailer, and the end user of the product called consumer. See, what happens is, so when it comes in terms of business environment, it is a manufacturer, that is business entity. Okay, so it is going to purchase the product from the external environment, that is from the society. Okay, so what it is going to do, it is going to convert the raw materials into the finished product. Okay, so these people are the suppliers to the society. Means here suppliers are the people one who are going to transform the product, commodities, services to the customers. Okay, we call them as a suppliers. Okay, this suppliers also influencing the business environment, and also this input, the raw materials. Okay, so these people are also impacting the business environment. Hence, we can say that, okay, this micro environment consists of various factors which is directly or indirectly influencing the business environment. Next concept is competitors. We are supposed to consider the competitors. Say for example, I am a manufacturer. Okay, who is my competitor? At what price he is going to sell his product? What kind of the product he is going to offer to the customer? And in what methodology he is going to prepare? What is his cost of production? What is the quality of the product? What is the quantity of the product that he is going to offer? What is the product that is in his product line? Okay, these are all the things that we need to consider while preparing the product or manufacturing the product. So this is a common thing that we need to consider inside the organization regarding the external environment, that is our competitors. So now, so to take the competitive advantage, we are supposed to have the healthy competition against the competitors by considering the factors, okay, of the competitors. Because if I know what exactly my competitor is, so I can make a strategy and become number one in a market. So that is the main intention or the perspective of the people of the organization, of every organization. What the thing is, okay, so they want to be unique in a market. Okay, so the people want to purchase their product, okay, because they want to market their own brand name. They want to stand in number one position in a market. Done. The last one is a general public. See, what happens is, the general public, directly or indirectly, it is influencing the business environment, right? So what happens is, whatever the people who are present with the external factors, okay, so whether it is a customer, whether it is a competitors, whether it is a input, that is a suppliers, okay, so whoever the people it is, okay, so they are directly or indirectly influencing the business environment. Hence I can say that the public is also a part of those things, okay, so which influence directly or indirectly the business environment. Hence I can say that these are the micro environment factors which influence the business environment directly or indirectly. Moving forward, macro environment. This is a very important topic, that is expected topic for your final exam. Okay, so whatever the syllabus that they had formulated, University of Mysuru, okay, so nicely they had formulated, but the things or the contents that they had included are these contents from unit 2, 3, 4 and 5, that is economic environment, followed by political and legal environment, technological environment, social, natural and legal environment. These are the contents that is included in your syllabus. Done. So when it comes in terms of the economic environment, so it's about the gross domestic product, gross national product, or per capita income of the individual people, or the purchasing power parity of the individual people, how they are going to purchase the product, what is the capacity, what is the capability of the people. So it totally depends upon the economic environment. Done. So there are certain economic factors, okay, which we need to consider in the economic environment. So as we know, the nations are being classified into 3 categories: developed nation, underdeveloped nation, developing nation. Done. So, and in the same way, here we are going to study much about the different economies. Okay, so whether it is a socialistic economy, capitalistic economy, or the mixed economy. So the economic environment also influence the business environment. It totally depends upon the economy. Done. Okay, next one is the in-depth that we are going to learn further, that is in unit 2 regarding the economic environment. Political and the legal environment. See, it is about the complete legal law that the business entity must follow. It may be the labor law, it may be the Goods and Services Act, it may be regarding the FEMA Act, FERA Act, or Companies Act 2013, Companies Act 1956. All it must follow. And also we are going with the political. Okay, there are certain political factors which is going to influence the business environment that we need to consider. Okay, so in depth that we are going to learn further. Followed by technological environment. When it comes in terms of technological environment, it's all about the technology, the upgradation of the technology, the use of technology in the business environment, how exactly the technology is going to influence the business environment. See, in today's generation, there is no business entity without technology, because we are completely dependent on the technology, right? So what happens is, here in today's generation, we are going to use certain CRM softwares, we have adopted certain artificial intelligence, robotics, automated systems. So now, so whether it is a machine learning, whether it is a cloud computing, okay, so we are going to use for the business. Okay, so how exactly these factors, this technology is going to influence the business, because it is going to make the business effectively, efficiently, and in the same way to run the business very smoothly with the smartest manner. Social environment, it's about the surrounding thing which is going to happen surrounding the organization. Okay, which are all the things which is present surrounding the organization that we are going to consider it as a social factors or the social environment. It is also affect the business environment directly. Done. When it comes in terms of the natural environment, it is regarding the natural resources, so that we need to consider. When it comes in terms of production, whatever the things that we are going to get towards the manufacturing, right, we are going to convert the raw materials into finished product. So whatever the thing that we need to consider, it is about the natural environment. Done. So, and again regarding the legal environment, regarding the legal laws that we need to follow. Okay, so rules and regulations that is been formulated. So we had studied here itself, it is the legal environment. Okay, so it is political and legal environment. It is about the legal laws, whether it is a labor law, whether it is a Companies Act, whether it is a FEMA Act, FERA Act, okay, whether it is regarding the Negotiable Instrument Act. Okay, so we are supposed to follow different kinds of fact about the different kinds of business and in the different kinds of the situations. So these are all the things that we need to consider, and this is a basic introduction regarding the economic, political, legal, technological, social and the natural environment. What exactly this environment is and how exactly this environment is going to work, that we are going to study further in the further units, that is unit 2, 3, 4 and 5. In the next session, we are going with types of business. Okay, there are various kinds of business. Okay, but as per the syllabus of University of Mysore, they had given only few topics. These topics we can expect only for 5 marks for our final exam. They won't ask this kind of topic for 10 or 15 marks. Done. So they may ask you one among these questions for your final exam. It is very important for 5 marks only. Okay, that is a private sector business, public sector business and joint sector business, MSMES, PPPs and OPCs. So we are going depth on these topics or the contents. Environmental scanning tools. So there are certain tools that we need to consider for the scanning of the business environment. Which are those tools? How exactly those tools are going to work on the real-time basis in the business environment, that we need to study in the further sessions. Roles of the business in the economic development. Okay, so here when it comes in terms of economic development, that is what the economic environment is going to say about. So whatever the activity it is going to do, that is regarding the development of the economy of our country. It is should benefit the economy of our country. That is what the economic environment it is going to say about. Here, role of business in the economic development of our nation. How exactly the business is going to benefit. Okay, so for the economic development of our nation, that we need to study in the next session. Thank you.